Man. Panther people, what up? Is the season over already? What's going on? You watch Panthers Post Phil Perkins. Thanks for joining. No, the season's not over. Yes, the Panthers lost 24-10 to the Atlanta Falcons, the first game one win for the Atlanta Falcons since 2017. So let them have it. All right, let them have it. But let's talk about the good. Let's talk about the not so good. Let's talk about the dang ugly about this game. Carolina Panthers 0-1 at the bottom of the NFC South right now in week one. Preface everything I say by saying it's week freaking one. All right. So, number one, let's talk about this. Bryce Young, the good. All right. Besides a bit of a shaky start in the first series, I think Bryce Young showed a lot of great resolve. I think he had a great pocket presence. I thought he had great pocket movement. At not one point that I think he really showed any panic at all in the pocket. I think that is something that we should be coming to understand is the norm for this guy. That's just the way it is. Even walking back to the sidelines, whether he throws one of his two picks, my brother messaged me saying, Bryce looks sad all the time. He's not sad. He's just chill. That's just the way he is. Even, Fox tried to make this, upset compilation of Bryce Young throwing interceptions and getting mad on the sidelines. His, being mad on the sideline was him, tapping the medical chair on the sideline. That was his angry. I didn't even see him angrily take off his clips on his barely clipped onto his helmet. And so I think he showed calm, cool, and collectedness. I did show that grade A, that triple A, capital A anticipation that we saw in the preseason. I think that still translated to the regular season game here. I like the fact that he distributed the ball to everybody. We saw everyone catch the ball. There wasn't just one guy he was targeted on. Obviously, DJ Chark not playing in this game, but everybody from Adam Thielen, Hayden Hurst, who scored his first touchdown, TMJ, Jonathan Mingo, Miles Sanders finding him out in the flats as well. Everybody got a little bit of Bryce. And, I thought he looked good. I think he bounced back after that poor first series, the second series where they couldn't convert on that fourth down. And then, boom, nice movement play, nice finding Hayden Hurst there with an easy touchdown. He did eventually get that ball back. Hayden Hurst tweeting out saying that he blacked out. And then he threw that ball up in the stands. Got it back, though. Give it back to Bryce. And I think that's the Bryce Young that we like to see. Spider Burns. Now going to be Venom Burns. He is fully Venom Burns now. He was a man possessed by that symbiote in the first couple snaps for defense. He just absolutely owned the Atlanta Falcons. He had 1.5 sacks. I think he had 1 or 2 tackles for a loss. He was just a force of nature. They literally had to schedule all their plays away from number 0 because they just could not handle him. He was an absolute monster. He says he's going to be playing for the team no matter what the contract situation is, and he is good to go, and he was a man possessed. And I feel like the symbiote spread to other players as well. Derek Brown moving in ways I've not seen him move for a deep tackle for a loss against Desmond Ridder, whoever that was. They won in spite of him, whatever. He won't be their quarterback next year. That's all I got to say. But, it felt like that juice just kind of spread to everybody else, and he played his spider balls off. And him and Derek Brown, absolute tag team. I thought the defense did great. I thought they gave the offense, ample opportunities to try to take this game by the scruff of the neck, but they just couldn't do it for the multiple reasons I just mentioned now, specifically the 3 turnovers. But Brian Burns needs to get paid. He needs to get paid. And he changed the game. He changed the game from first half to second half. And I thought the rest of the defense did good. I think Frankie Louvu did awesome. He had a bit of a rough start, but he was all over the field yet again. Jeremy Chin with 7 tackles. The Bryce Young we didn't like to see, the one that we didn't think we would ever see, because obviously Bryce with his stature, and I swear to gosh, every time the Fox crew said something about his height, if I took a shot, I'd be absolutely obliterated by the second quarter. But Bryce Young, we thought because of his lack of physical stature that we thought, he's kind of like Professor X. Professor X obviously can't use his legs, but his brain, his mental ability makes up for that. And we thought that's kind of like what Bryce was. Obviously, he's an elite athlete, but at the same time, his brain is what makes Bryce. Comparing him to a coach on the field. We thought, you can't fluster this guy. He won't make the same mistake twice, except that's exactly what he did. Literally, both of his interceptions in the same part of the field, same kind of play, intercepted by the same guy in Jesse Bates, a guy who I wanted the Carolina Panthers to pick up, by the way. And so I couldn't believe that, honestly. I couldn't believe that happened because it's Bryce. We think just the way he carries himself, he's a smart dude off the field, smart dude on the field. You thought that would translate, when push came to shove and it's a regular season game. But it happened. So he throws 2 picks, and eventually Miles Sanders fumbles the ball as well. And that basically did it for the Panthers. That was the bad, and that was the ugly, all rolled up into one in a roti. So, the Atlanta Falcons, they didn't really show much on offense. Rushing and passing, they were both surpassed by the Carolina Panthers. Carolina Panthers rushed for 150 yards today. I think the Atlanta Falcons rushed for, 132 yards. The turnovers on the offense, whether it's from Bryce Young and the 2 interceptions, and the fumble from Miles Sanders in his first real game. He didn't play in the preseason at all. They scored all their points off that. They scored 17 points off turnovers for the Carolina Panthers. If it wasn't for those, I know it sounds like a Matt Ruleism, don't beat yourself. Carolina Panthers win this game because I think they really started to have that flow, especially after that first scoring drive. I think Bryce started clicking a little bit, but they shot themselves in the foot twice in the same foot in the exact same spot in terms of Bryce Young. But you just can't have that. You can't win any game when it comes to turnovers. If you're going to out turnover the team 3-0, you have a very low chance of winning the game, especially on the road. And so, luckily, talking about his brain, Bryce Young, hopefully he's going to watch this tape. The guy doesn't really have much of a life. I kind of a little bit me wishes that he did have a little bit of a life. But at this point in time of his rookie career, I think he's going to go back in the lab. I guarantee you he's watching iPad viz all the way back to Charlotte in his condo, wherever he's living. And then he's going to be focusing on that. And he gets an extra day to prep as well, because the next game is on national television against the New Orleans Saints at home, Bank of America Stadium, for the home opener. I tell you, he's not going to do the same. He's not going to make the same mistake twice. I guarantee you that. Is he going to throw more interceptions? Absolutely, he's going to throw more interceptions. But I don't think we're going to have the same type of performance we did today. You have a, kind of back chapter of his career in Adam Thielen. Not going to be burning guys off. He's going to have to, out route guys. You got Terrace Marshall, not exactly a burner himself. He's a big body. You got Jonathan Mingo, who we have seen some separation. Maybe if Bryce Young threw that pass a bit deeper, that could have been a longer touchdown for him. And then you got, Hayden Hurst, again, possession guy, big dude, can kind of box you out, and kind of the same way he got a touchdown today, but no real burners. Laviska Shenault just kind of beat you up in the face, like take you head on, but no real burner. DJ Chark, again, not healthy, so there's no point. Damiere Byrd, he's a bit of a burner. He is, but he's also not healthy, not available. Your best ability is availability. So that's going to be the issue. And so when Bryce Young's saying he needs to be more efficient, does that mean he needs to hit guys open? He's got to throw a little bit more open, but they also have that burner speed to try to get that ball if they're being thrown open. So that's a bit of an issue there for sure. That is the glaring issue, at least on the offense. I don't have issues with the offensive line right now. I think they did a great job. I thought Bryce had a lot of time. It wasn't until later on in the game that it seemed like things were breaking down a little bit for that offensive line. But I thought they did great. Again, the Panthers outrushed the Atlanta Falcons, who had, Bijan Robinson on their team. They, again, outrushed him by about 15 yards. And I think they did a great job. Ike Ekwonu, some of the hate that he got in the preseason, I think that's kind of unfounded. I think I saw one miff on his part. Chandler Zavala, rookie, starting in right guard. I think he did great. Didn't see him. No penalties on his part. And I just remember about J.C. Horn. Oh my God, J.C. Horn. Has this guy? No, he played a majority. No, last year he got hurt right before the last game of the season, so I can't hurt him for that. But he gets hurt, and these are all non-contact injuries. These are all just things that happen, whether it's the turf monster in Houston, however he broke his wrist last year. And then now, non-contact injury, running after the receiver, comes up lame, left side, hammy. He didn't return to the game. He was in a boot. Vashti saying that, it was raised, meaning there's a little bit of tearing there. It's just not good. It's not good. It's not good for him. It's not good for the Panthers as a team, because we saw what happens when that guy's out. You had an opportunity to make it to the playoffs last year. Didn't happen. And a thing that we were talking about before this game, the doomsday scenario is, J.C. Horn goes down and Dante Jackson goes down. Hey, mind you, Dante Jackson, didn't see him on the camera at all. You know why? Because the Carolina Panthers defense locked these wide receivers out. Drake London targeted once in this entire game. Kyle Pitts probably didn't get a catch, I think, until like midway through the third, late in the third. And all his yards were off 2 catches. And so, but what still concerns me is who's backing up J.C. Horn. Ty Hill came in, immediately made an impact with a nice open field tackle against Bijan Robinson. Okay, so that was nice. But long term, what the hell is going on? It cannot be CJ Henderson. It cannot be CJ Henderson. It just can't. And so I don't know if they got to start looking at the guys who are just kind of on their couch right now, try to find a diamond in the rough. Again, October 31st is not that long from now. It feels long, but you got to let the weeks kind of play out. Hopefully it's healthy. They can fly into Germany, get the blood spinning and injecting it back into his leg to try to heal that hand, because the team is better. We know that when he is healthy. The Carolina Panthers offense is on training wheels that are connected to bricks that are also underwater with their wide receivers who are just not getting separation. I don't know how they can get faster or maybe out route people between now and Monday. But in the future, you're going to need burners eventually. You're going to need elite, capital E, elite. Jonathan Mingo could be that guy. Still need time. But I still feel good about this team. They're still fun to watch. Bryce Young is so fun to watch because he does special things with his arm and his brain and his eyes. And he hasn't made a wow throw yet, but he makes smart throws. And if he's calm, cool, collected, I should be calm, cool, collected. It's also freaking week 1, everybody. The defense looks good. Bijan Robinson looks like he could be doing that against everybody. But the offense, yeah, it's concerning with the wide receiver, but I think we have the right pieces. And again, will this wide receiver room look the same way in year 3 of Bryce Young's career compared to year 1? Probably not. But let me know how you guys feel. Do not give up on this team. It is freaking week 1. Week 1, okay? Let's just chill. So if you're new here, like, subscribe, spread the word. Let's join the party. Let's go. We're going to have another video sometime this week. We're going to preview the Monday Night Football game. I have Mondays off now, so will I be doing a live stream? Maybe, maybe not. We'll figure it out, but make sure like, subscribe, spread the word. See you guys soon.